World, this is meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK 102.5 forecast. Clouds and rain showers expected today and tonight. High temperatures near 50 and the overnight temperature 35 to 40. No freezing weather expected. Then developing sunshine for Sunday, partly to mostly sunny in the mid-50s, northwest wind 5 to 10. And Monday should be mostly sunny, about 50 to 55. Enjoy your weekend. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
It's 12:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for our Thoughts on the Matter, a program offering opinions from all sides of the issues concerning local, state, and national topics of importance to the Jonesboro community. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters, donors, or sponsors.
All right, happy Saturday, everybody. I hope that you're having a great start to your day, even though it's a little wet and chilly here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I want to say good morning to my panel. Today we have Mr. Bernard Cobbs, Miss Helen. Oh goodness, I lost your last name just that quick. Please give me it.
We're gonna do Helen
Scott. Okay, Miss Helen.
Yeah.
Miss Amanda Donovan.
Good morning.
And Lachey Robinson.
Good morning.
All right, so as most of you all.
Yes.
So Brother Cobbs has been our brave one man.
Give me 5, Brother Cobbs. Give me 5.
Join this all ladies panel today. All right, so you've been following us on Facebook. Our topic for today is He Said, She Said. We're going to talk about some relationship topics, and with Brother Cobbs being our more seasoned married veteran on the panel, he's going to hopefully give us some insight as well. I want to give a shout out to Buddy Red's Barbershop. Hope y'all gentlemen enjoy this conversation, and don't be afraid to tune in.
What barbershop?
Buddy Red's place is on the other end of Carol. I want to say Carol.
Is it new?
Don't quote me on that.
Is it new?
No.
How long has it been there?
I don't know. We're not commercial, so I'm sorry we can't plug.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Trying to see if I missed something.
All right, so
Actually, my coat's a no-no.
all right, so I want to get into what the basis of this conversation, where it came from. There was, and again, I want to state this: we're not bashing men, we're not bashing women. We just want to open the discussion, okay?
Sometimes the discussion hurts.
All right, so there was a post some time ago. Pastor John Gray made an appearance on the show called Sister Circle, and he talked about his marriage. He stated, "My wife has endured more pain birthing me than both of our children. She has sacrificed these last 8 years uncovering the painful areas of my manhood and covering the areas that could have exposed me." Okay, and then another Miss Helen ran into another man that made a comment about it's women's fault because of how some men are. We cuddle them. We make excuses, enable them. So I just wanted to bring it to the tables for us to have a discussion. You know, whose responsibility is it for individuals' personal growth and maturity? Y'all just come on now. Whose responsibility is it? If you're in a relationship, you're dating, you're married, is it the man or the woman's responsibility to help the other person grow and mature to a certain level? So I want to throw it to the panel.
You gonna go first, seasoned veteran?
Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, Brother Cobbs.
But the last question you were saying, is it him or her to help one another to make them better?
Is it anybody's responsibility? Is it the individual or is it?
It's not anybody's responsibility, but if that's who you like, that's who you want to work on. Male or female, they don't come up to your par. That's what you work on. Ain't no sense me working on you, and I'm not dating you.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I can give you some information, but if I'm married or working with this woman, she should help me, and I should help her.
But okay, what if you know what you desire in a mate? Mm-hmm. Think about before you got married, before you met your wife, you knew what type of woman you wanted. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you met a woman, you liked her, but she didn't have all the qualities you wanted, is it your responsibility to grow her to a level that you want?
I don't say grow her to a level that I want, but I would just bring up different points of what I like. But see, I married an African-American woman, but my mind was in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And so, and then most
You
men,
tried it.
Most men want someone like their mother.
Okay.
90% of them want something like their mother, and most females want something like their father. So you always gonna have a clash. So then that's when you gotta come in and bring it together. You used to do. My mother-in-law and father-in-law, they argue. I mean, they holler all the time at each other.
Okay.
So that's how they got along. Okay, I didn't like that, but my wife would come to me holler. I thought, whoa, you don't have to holler at me.
Like
But that's
on,
but that's
what
she
was it?
used to.
Why Did I Get Married? Where they had Tasha, you know, the couple is
Yeah.
always arguing, but that's how they kind
That's how they
of,
got along.
yeah.
So who was us to say if it was wrong with her? I'm gonna have that argument. He wouldn't be doing. No, you don't know what you
Gotta
would
break
take.
up to make up.
You don't know what you can take.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Robinson, you looking?
Go ahead, Shay.
That's what they say.
Okay,
Read the question
She
again.
take too long.
Basically,
Oh, look, Brother
whose
Kyle.
responsibility is it for an individual's growth and maturity in a relationship, or is it even the partner's responsibility at all? Is it the individual's or the partner? Like, who should take responsibility? You meet someone that doesn't quite match your energy or match where you are. Should you
think-
grow and help?
No, I think being grown adults, you shouldn't. I mean, what am I trying to say?
Goodbye.
No.
If it's bad, yes, goodbye.
I feel like it's on the person. I don't think you can change a
Yeah.
person.
No.
I definitely
Depends on
think,
the severity
you can't
of
change a
that.
person. You
You
just
know
simply
what? I
can't.
disagree
You
with
can
that.
you can
person
encourage
is
encourage growth.
So if you making $100,000, I'm only making 40. My mindset is not with you.
Right.
So I have to change if I want to be with you.
I
But
think
shouldn't you
So you-
see that trait
You should
within
see that,
them?
like, as soon as you get in a
Love
relationship.
don't have no
The
boundary of-
question is that person happy at $40,000? Is he happy with, or her happy with his
Oh,
job?
he
that's
gonna be happy.
that's part of those conversations I think have to happen here and there. You know, like what is it that you think that income should consist of? What is it that you believe is hard work? Like what is it that your morals and values are consisted of? Because we're going to fight about that. You know, it's the difference between someone that understands a man is supposed to go out there and work hard and provide for himself and his society and the community, and someone that's okay with him just sitting there playing video games because she know where he's going to be at all day.
I
and I'm
divorced my
like-
ex-husband for that, by the way.
And I'm like, well, we have to think
One of
about
the
what
many
is it that
reasons.
we're needing in a man around us. You know, because our needs change. Like, depending on what you were talking about, your wife is one, and you were thinking about something else. Depending on who he is and what's been instilled into him, he may not be that guy that you need in your life, but he's still the man. That doesn't make him less of a man just because he's not the one for you. And that's where my goodbye come in at, because I'm like, you know, I'm not going to fight this fight. You know, there is a guy out there who sees my energy and who can match my energy and who can say, well, babe, we're going to work this out as we go through. But if you're not even willing to do that, if all your mindset is, I'm the man, you know, raw, beat on my chest, hear me, what is it?
Hear me roar.
Yeah, you know, I'm man, or you, me, something, you, Jane, you know, that whole
Me,
little mentality.
Tarzan. You,
yeah.
Jane.
I don't want to be drugged through the woods, you know, I want to be.
Please don't hit me in my head. And
I
grab me by the
I want
foot.
that child little tenderness. You know, who's that Otis Redding? Every so often. That's what-
You don't know. We don't know what y'all want. Y'all expect us to know what you all want.
Okay.
Well, see, this is where communication
So this helps.
in a relationship
We have Brother Cobb. So
comes
if
in.
somebody told you, if a woman told you, I need you to go and take the car to go get it done, so you would do it, no problem.
I go to this place, I go to that place, I go to that place, but I still got the car done. But when I come home,
So you need instruction.
What took you so long to get the car done? You told me to get the car done. You didn't tell me how long it take to do it.
I know this feeling. I
so,
get that
yeah.
sometimes.
Men, a lot of us go places and stuff like that, but a lot of us have other friends we go and see, other male partners, or we're not going to say a female. But I'm just saying, if you married, you spend so much
Yes.
time with your spouse, so when you get free, you want to do you.
Now let me ask you, Brother Cobb, how is that when it comes to men? You know, women are known for being nurturers. We're the ones, we bandage it up, we wrap it up, we pat on the back.
We
You know,
love
it's okay.
you,
We do
yeah.
love. When it comes to men, and let's just say you have a woman that she has gone through something emotional, do you think it takes a bigger man or less of a man? Like, is it a manly thing to be there for a woman emotionally?
It's not depending on what you call emotionally,
Because we have things that happen. You have miscarriages. You have life change, altering events, and some men don't know how to handle the emotional side of a woman.
Most definitely. Because then again, it all depends on how you was raised.
Right.
You know, you got a strong gorilla male in your family, alpha male in your
Mm-hmm.
family. You know how to treat a woman when she's going through all this.
Can an alpha male handle an alpha female?
No.
Oh my. Okay.
I think
That's
if they
it.
both
It was
work on it,
conviction.
it can, because me and my husband are both that way.
Yeah.
And how
If
we
a
do, we
woman
pick.
to
We
me-
pick.
If a woman to me and most men, if she makes more money,
Mm-hmm.
more dominant than he is, he feel inferiority complex.
Mm-hmm.
Because she gonna get that big head. I'm this, I got this. What you bringing to
But
the
not
table?
all women are.
Not all
I'm gonna
women are
speak-
like that.
90% of the women are like.
I
you
can't
find-
sing Oprah
I
theme
can
song, but we know it.
I'm just saying, you know where you need to be at and know
Yeah.
how to encourage your spouse, but don't throw it especially for a man. He's doing all he can. Don't throw it up in his face.
No.
Don't throw it up
Well,
in his
shouldn't
face.
these things be talked about and recognized in the dating stage?
But it's like this too. Sometimes when you're dating, the woman is still in school.
Okay.
And then she haven't accomplished, but you out here working, trying
Growth.
to arrive, and then when she do arrive, boom, baby, you gone. I'm getting this on her over here that's educated.
Yeah.
We don't, y'all, a lot of women use us as stepping stones. To
We don't
to
use
get
y'all.
what- yes, you do. To get what they
No, we
want.
don't.
Yes, you do. To get
Use
what they
ya.
want. To get what they want. And then
Called upgraded life.
Then what you say that favorite word is? Bye.
I
Goodbye.
think it's all in communication.
Yes.
I feel
It's in
like
communication.
you just have to communicate, and there's gonna be times when you don't get along.
Okay, you
There'll be-
educated, and I'm not. How much communication can we have together?
There's a lot of
Yes, it is.
Okay, having a degree does not.
I ain't said a degree. I said
But
educated.
You
But-
know,
Educated on what?
in communication, you
Just
know,
in
it's
life.
not just verbal. It can be body language too.
Mm-hmm.
Just little
Oh
subtle
yes,
things.
because you not getting nothing if you don't do nothing.
Somebody language we do misread,
Right.
but it's how you say it.
Yeah.
Right.
How you say
And your
things,
tone of
and your
voice.
tone,
Yes.
and your attitude.
Again, that's where
But-
the communication.
I get in trouble with that
Right.
one a lot.
Communication.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, if you're educated and I'm not, what do we mostly have to talk about? It's not the kids, it's not the church. What else do we have in common?
Well, that's
There's
going to
a
be a
lot.
learning
Okay.
a situation.
I'm not talking about going out to eat and stuff. That money makes a big difference in a relationship.
True.
Well,
Who
if that's what you're focusing
Who
on,
controls the money, controls the relationship.
if it's
doesn't
all
have to
about
be.
money, then maybe
No,
y'all
it's
just
not
not.
all about money. I'm
Me,
just saying,
me
who
and my
can-
husband, we only have one bank account, and we both have access to it.
It's okay. I'm gonna speak for me and
On everybody.
People
You
call
can't
me.
speak for you.
I'm speaking for.
Seriously?
You got four different ones.
Okay, I'm
y'all
gonna.
all jump on me.
I'm gonna
Anybody
speak for
gonna
me
jump
from
on
my
you?
perspective. I'm a
Get the
different type of
camera right.
woman.
I got it. Is it right?
You're right, girl.
All right. I think I got it right. Something like that.
Even if I'm
Is
making,
it everybody? We listening.
Okay, even if I'm making more money than my spouse, I'm not the type of person to lord it over him. I do want him to help celebrate me, and I will celebrate him in whatever he's doing. I'm
That's
a
right.
different type of woman.
Mm-hmm.
I come from a different era. I was raised by older people.
Me too.
So I'm different than these new little millennial, new age women. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but
That's okay.
I personally am different, and not a lot of men can handle my
Exactly.
difference.
Exactly.
I feel the same way you feel, Corbelia. I was raised by my grandparents, and my grandfather was born in 1918, so
Wow.
he was always about chivalry and make sure
Mm-hmm.
you have a man that shows respect. And so I feel like you kind of expect that, and that's what you
Mm-hmm.
grew up with. You know what I mean?
I think it's one of those things that you have to learn to expect whether you grew up
Yeah.
with it or not. Like, it was just good that you had that introduced to you, because not many women, not many guys
Right.
had certain values
Right.
introduced to them early on, and then you had to learn later. And it's like, dang, like if I would have had that, but we all have to grow. So it was great that you had someone introduce that to you, because if not, we see the results.
Yeah, and that's where
Yes.
you may have men who didn't have a father figure in their life,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's where the ball was dropped. You got to take things into consideration.
Well, let me ask this to Brother Cops. With, based on her comment when she said not a lot of men were exposed to certain teachings growing up, as you get to a certain age, shouldn't it be an individual responsibility to learn how to be a better man, person, spouse, whatever you need to be?
Especially if you realize you're
Well,
missing
if you've
things.
never been introduced to that, you don't even know to expect it. I'm sorry, Brother Cops.
Yeah, we was talking all that.
You really got to look at everything you do is a building block.
Mm-hmm.
You learn something out of every situation. You learn something from it. So if you close-minded,
Yeah.
you'll never
That's
learn.
what
That's
that
a
is.
lot
right.
of women's issues this day. They're very closed-minded, including
So
myself.
by him not having a father, he cannot blame it all on that.
Mm-hmm.
He had a grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
He had an uncle.
Mm-hmm.
It might even have an older brother.
And
There's a male figure
teachers
in your life
and-
somewhere.
Right.
You got to be determined to change your ways, change your status. The pastor,
Right.
the coach, the teacher. There's a lot of males in your life. You just got to pick one or a couple to bring you to show your ability.
Yeah.
My dad was at home. My dad was at home. He was at home. But what did he do for me? You know, that's what's the difference?
Exactly.
Just
What
like
what was my thoughts of the opposite sex created from? Like, where did I get that from? If you go to different countries, you're gonna see it done differently. You know, you have those that they're very strict within how they do their day. Like, we have rules assessed to how we do every day, and that's where they live off of. And the woman is supposed to have
submissive.
be that submissive woman. So imagine if you're strong-minded and
They would have beat me to death and cut my tongue out.
You know, in some countries, they have very strict rules on what women can and
Yeah.
can't do.
Yes.
And
And that's what I think. I ain't gonna say I got all y'all here. I'm not gonna say they need to go. We need to go back to that. But I'm just saying. I'm gonna put it this way: all of you all are educated, with a degree of some sort.
I'm looking at you while you talk. So
Right.
So what I'm saying is, why y'all gonna get a degree? And all you want is a man to take care of you. Why you want
I
a
don't
degree?
know.
because I want both. Because I want
See,
both.
See, I want. See,
Both.
see. I
Both.
have both. I have
Both.
both. I am very blessed. I have both. The reason why I got a degree, one, my family has a background in education from the get-go. Since I was born, I was pushed to education, because you can't count on a man.
Right.
But when you come from a multi-family generation of divorced families and single parents, see,
You
I've been a
learn.
single parent. And without that degree, I couldn't have supported my 2 kids.
But did you feel neglected by going to school and your kids miss that part of you?
Yes, I felt really bad.
So why did you go?
Why did I go? Because it was for
To
them.
better herself.
To better
I
myself.
thought the family is more important to everybody.
Balance.
Well, when you're studying, you can study with your kids. And I took online classes, so, you know.
But then as well, he with the.
but really, I'm not picking on anyone.
But there are
Sure
certain
you ain't.
places that women are not allowed to go to school.
I mean, I know that too, but I'm saying
Yeah.
some women go to school. I found this out just to get a man.
Oh,
why-
I've heard of
why-
that. I have heard of that,
why-
yeah.
Yes, they do.
Especially
Yes, they
back
do.
when Brother Cobbs was growing up, back
Yes.
in the 60s and 70s. No,
They even do it
I'm
now.
teasing.
They even do it now. You know, they train. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but there's a comedian that his wife is one of those that's, you know, they come from women that train each other on how to go and get these ballers, these millionaire guys. You know, some of them say like the basketball wives. You know, we have the shows, but the background of that is
They
they're
gold
known
diggers.
for,
That's what they
for
called
going where
is gold
these guys
diggers.
are gonna go. But the guys know this. Like, it's not. It shouldn't be a
Hey,
surprise when it doesn't work out. You know,
his opinion. If that's what he wants,
Yeah.
that is what he wants. Not necessarily what I want, but
You know, a lot of them go get doctors and lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
just, you know, like that. But why you spend all the time? Why I got to pay for your education when you're not going to use it?
well, the government paid for mine, but
Yeah.
I don't
You pay
want to.
taxes, I pay taxes.
Well,
I paid for mine.
I don't know
and
where mine
part
came
of the
from.
government. Part of the government.
Mine was a
Yeah,
blessing.
A lot of women do go and sit down
Yeah.
Right.
and sit down.
Now to go back to your original question, why do I want a man? I want a man to meet my emotional needs.
Exactly.
Not take care of me fully, but I want to meet his as well. Like
That's all right.
I want a life partner. I want a
Yes,
best
you
friend.
do. Someone I
I
can
want somebody. If when the world is coming to an end, or
Okay,
at the
okay,
worst
okay.
day of my life,
I want a
to say,
man for
I'm
the
here
things
for
I
you.
can't do
Okay,
for
so
myself
what
that I
age-
can't
what
supposed
age
to
is-
do.
What age is that?
Huh?
What age is that? Because a lot of people get married 19 and 20.
Honey,
Are they ready?
I got married at the age of 20.
And you, got
You know what?
divorced
That's a good
To my
question.
high
but
school
I'm glad you
sweetheart.
brought up Brother Cos, because there's one. I think there's one thing to talk about what a man is, and then another thing about what a good man is, and then another thing about are you ready for that lifelong partnership with that person? Because not
Right.
everyone is marriage
And
material.
also, people change. They go
Yes.
through different things.
Right.
And when they start into an abusive relationship or trying to get you off into illegal stuff like that, getting your children being involved in that, you know, I can go on all day talking about how some people
The
can
quality.
be. And it's not just men, it's women too. There's both sides of the fence on that. But like I said, I can go through all day
Okay.
for reasons like that. But with that, anyways, go ahead, Q.
All right, we're gonna give a few shout outs to Facebook, and then we're gonna switch gears just a little bit.
That's when you need to say
Hey,
go.
Bookers.
Give it a shout.
Talking about me.
Shout out to Latoya Johnson Love Pigram, Stan Morris, and Kendon Rashawn says I'm enjoying listening to this segment, and good morning to Miss Diane Taylor. All right, so
Poor
I
brother
wanna
Cobbs,
say-
we ganging up on him.
Can I answer the question of why I chose to go back to
Okay,
school?
hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
We're gonna let Shay answer the question before we get ready to go to break. When we come back from break, we're gonna touch on some financial aspects of relationships. So
Okay.
let Shay talk, and then we're gonna go to
Please.
break.
Okay,
20
Brother
seconds.
Cobbs well, I don't have, never mind, go ahead.
No,
You
we
just
got
gotta-
it.
No, it's
You
so
got
long,
it.
I won't have time.
Okay, all right then. Well, we're gonna save Lashay's comment for when we come back from break. We're gonna touch on some financial aspects. You know, we've been talking about whose responsibility is it for growth and maturity. Well, then, since Brother Cobbs did bring up money earlier, we're gonna talk about, okay, whose responsibility is it, to make more money or bring more money, or like in other aspects of that. So I hope
The head of
everyone's
house.
enjoying
The head
the
of household.
conversation. Good morning, Dr. Lydia Fears. But we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these two announcements.
You're listening to our thoughts on the matter on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Angie with your KLEK Learn Spanish Minute. Hello, we're doing greetings today. Good morning. Buenos dias.
Good morning. Buenos dias.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon. Buenos tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas. You know I'm country.
Good evening. Buenas noches.
Good evening. Buenos noches.
Great. Say again, good morning.
Good morning. I forgot.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Good afternoon.
Buenos tardes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Buenas noches.
Buenos noches.
Great.
Great.
I'm Angie, and that was your Learn Spanish Minute on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Meineke of Jonesboro is now Starks Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com.
And now back to our thoughts on the matter on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to our thoughts on the matter. We're speaking. Our panel today consists of Brother Bernard Cobbs, Miss Helen, Miss Amanda Donovan, and Miss Lachey Robinson. Before we went to break, make sure to get everybody's mic back on. All right, so Lachey is going to give her thoughts on the question that Brother Cobbs had asked concerning educated women and why you want a man. And so
Yeah, he had mentioned, or somebody that mentioned that we went back to school to get a man or something to that aspect. The reason for me going back to school, again, my grandfather was born in 1918, and he stressed the importance of a higher education because my grandfather was illiterate. He couldn't read or write. Thinking about going to school or getting an education back in that era, it can mean death or intimidation. So, when you see that your grandfather can't sign your report card, it just means more for me. So that's why I decided to go back to school.
That's good.
So
I mean, like you said, that's why you decided. It's a decision that everybody make. But I'm gonna ask this one question: is college the only thing we can go to?
No.
No.
They used to have,
But
yeah.
90% of households want you to go to college. They don't want you. secondary school of any sort, they want you to go to college.
Well,
Everybody's not
Just
college
because
material.
they want you to go to school doesn't mean
Honey,
you have
I
to.
have
Everything's
associate's
your choice.
degree in
Everything-
logistics,
everything-
and I got it from ASU Newport.
Let me
Everything is your choice.
along with the secondary education, that school of hard knocks is so very important.
Yes.
Because how many times we seen these girls go out here, or these guys go out here from these homes where everything was supposed to be done so perfectly, and then they go out here and you know what's gonna happen. What's waiting on them? Those wolves, you know. It's like they say, just throw them, leave them to the wolves, and then you have people that don't want to live in reality, and you have those families, those women that they bring up young girls to only provide, only do what she needs to do for that man. You know, cook and clean, and you know, give him all the loving that he can handle in every way. Look the other way whenever he does something. You know, you get those rules that get embedded into the women sometimes in society, so they can be that woman for whatever man. But let me say that I believe that it used to be that the man, as a head of household, was the main provider. You know, he took care of more of the financial things. You know, he went out there and made sure to protect the home. You know, he's gonna stand up if something happens. You know, he's gonna have that shotgun, or he's gonna go call the attorney friend. He's gonna bring all of that, so you get that good balance. Today, sometimes seems like the balance went away, and it turned into who's going to be responsible for everything.
All right, well, that's a great segue
Yeah.
into the financial aspect of relationships. Who is responsible for making the most money, or should it rest on any one person? Should the person with the most education be expected to make the most money? Should the couple work together to try to build? And again, are these discussions that need to be had during the dating phase? Like, I'm not trying to beat up on anybody. Everyone has their own personal views and thoughts on this, so I'm just throwing the topic out.
Well, come on, Creed.
I want us to answer. I want us to please give each other the opportunity to speak. So that everybody that's listening can actually understand what you're saying.
I don't believe it's just one person. You have to work together. And yes, it should be talked about in the dating phase, but things change. You know, you have to be on your toes with life, because that's life. And sometimes you just have to roll with it. But when you're married, what you do does affect the other person. And that's why you should communicate. As in financial, you should be able to sit down and talk about, well, what do you want to do for a living? Well, I want to be a DJ. Well, we all know DJs don't make very much money. And you talk to the other person, well, depending on, but majority of them. Anyways,
Let's do this thing.
Anyways, the other person wants to be in business or advertising or, CEO or whatever. That's what their passion is. If both people are okay with that, they can work through it. But the thing is, you have to work together. Now, I've been on both sides of the fence where I made more money than he did, and I've been on the other side where he made more money than I did. But it just made me work a little bit harder. But
Lachey, you want to jump in?
I think it's both of them. They both have to, put in the work, but also this idea that the man has to go out and do the work and bring the money home. It is not the 60s anymore. It is 2018. And I feel like times have changed. Women can stand on their own ground and provide for themselves without having to.
Yes. So are you saying you don't need a man?
No, I'm not saying I don't need a man.
Okay. Because there are a lot of the stigma around is like, okay, now we're on this thing of women saying, I don't need a man. Just like some men's like, I don't need a woman. I need a man.
I've never been the type of person that has to have a man in my life. No, ma'am.
And it's for certain things. Like, that's why they're here. You don't have to have him forever and ever and ever, but still to be that person. I grew up with uncles. I didn't have brothers, but I grew up with uncles that if something was going on, that's what they do. Woman, the women, we come together to help out, but we can't do everything. It's just impossible. Man was created for a reason, just like woman's created for a reason. So when he get these men, it's like, I don't need a woman. Well, what you talking to me for?
Well, need and want.
Need and want is two different things.
Exactly. Need and want at the same time.
You have to be able to take care of yourself.
Yes.
And that's the thing. Some women want men so bad, and you need to learn to love yourself first.
That too. And I still need and want a man.
You can't love somebody else until you love yourself.
And to all
yes. Be ready to do that.
Brother Cobbs, you've been kind of quiet. You want to jump
Come on, Brother Cobbs.
Very
We ain't gonna
flexible.
bite
It's your
you.
turn, Brother
We ain't gonna
Cobbs.
I
bite
heard
you.
about mine.
No.
Yeah.
That's why when the question came up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it should be equal. The decision should be, even if you make more or whatsoever, the decision should be equal.
Yeah.
Not because I make more than you, I'm higher than you, I'm better than you. What you gonna do if I leave and all that? How would you think that? Male or female?
Yeah.
How would you think that?
I mean, I had children, so at one point I needed a man. You know, you got different ways of doing that for whatever reason. Like we saw, what was that, Superwoman? It was that Superwoman, what was the movie where she was like, she came from a place, and those really were places to where men were not there for recreational purposes. That she was taught that for procreation is what they had men for. So to some degree, depending on what life you would like to have, like you have these women that are so seriously set up in their foundation. They're saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. This is when I'm going to have a child. So at one point, you need that opposite sex. Science says it.
How do you feel? How do you feel about these women who get pregnant just to keep the man?
I don't know nobody like that.
We have a Facebook comment. Miss Brittany Cook says people should work together and be strong where the other lacks it.
Yes.
I have this question. In this day and time where more people are becoming entrepreneurs, or people are having multiple streams of income coming in, some people are authors, public speakers, women are doing more, men are doing different things. Should you also discuss these things in the early part of relationship, saying, okay,
you're gonna keep saying the early part of the relationship.
The first date.
The early part of the relationship don't mean what I'm gonna be when I get married.
Yeah.
I think as it comes up, you need to have.
But talk about
growth. You can talk into it as you go. I'm a barber. My wife, family talked about me. Why you going to school to be that? They don't make any money. Right. Okay, I make more than all of them.
But I mean,
so what are you talking about? I mean, she down me too. You need to go to school, get back in school, be a doctor. I said, I might need to be, but I'm looking at it this way. A doctor, 8 years. A barber, 8 years would be way more than a doctor would be when he get out, because he got student loans, he got this and that.
Your passion was as a barber.
Are you happy?
Very.
But see,
I don't want to go nowhere else.
That goes back to my original comment
but
about having these discussions early in a relationship. Talk about your dreams and goals and your visions.
Yes.
So that
You can see
when
if
you
they
put
align.
out there what you desire for your life, the other person can make a decision. Do I want to continue on this path, or do I just want to go ahead and
what
break?
if you're already on that path? What if you're already married to the person? Things change.
Y'all ain't gonna be married for long.
No, these should come.
I mean, but those are issues you should have took care of before you got married.
Not necessarily. You can't take care of everything before you get married.
I'm not saying take care of it, but at least address it. Discuss it.
I did not want to be a.
But isn't it so much fun when people lie, though? Isn't it so much fun when people lie about their ambitions, lie about their intentions?
Out of range.
And
no, they ain't got no business.
and then it takes then that's wasted time because they're not being honest. People are trying to hide too much of themselves. They don't want to let it be known this. They don't want to be let it be known that. And so you're not getting the whole complete, and you're wasting your time literally. And that's when my goodbye comes in, because the moment I realize that it's not what you set it out to be, and I'm being a for real person out here in this world, and I'm really trying to set my best foot forward. And you could be that person to do it, whether it's lifelong or whether it's just because this is our encounter. The moment I realize how real you are not, I can't do nothing with that except for goodbye or whatever else I want.
Some people sometimes, like you said, talk and get it out, but some people is not a talkative person.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. It's whatever you want.
Need no something.
That's
whatever you
as
want,
a person, and you are in a relationship, you ought to know that something's wrong.
Their body language.
Their body language, you can tell.
But you're so used to running over it, it don't bother you anymore.
Whatever it is, Brother Cobb,
I ask.
It has, but it has
Without
to
knowing
be.
the problem, there can't be a solution. Now we can fight about it all day long, but at the end of the day, there's still a problem. There's a reason why we both mad, and we need to sit down and have a discussion about it. And if you can't come to a decision about it, you have to forgive each other. But if you cannot come to a decision on it, that answer is no, whatever it is, because you couldn't agree on it.
So many people might can forgive, but they don't forgive.
That's
Brother Cobbs.
That trust is broken.
Now there's there's
it
certain
is, whatever it
exclusions
is.
to that comment because, you know, domestic abuse, lying,
Yeah.
cheating, lying
I'm
about
just saying.
money, where the money's going. Things of that nature is a different.
Oh, a man,
go ahead.
a man tell you what you want, what he think you want to hear,
Mm-hmm.
not what you need to hear.
That's why you need that
That's where
third
we
eye
get
open.
that. That's where we mess up at. We tell you
Just be
what we
frank,
think
be
you
honest.
want to know.
Yeah.
Just be honest.
And when something goes wrong, where does it lie?
I have rather somebody tell me the truth up front than me find out 10 years later.
See, then
Or
when they-
3 days later before
Then
you.
when they find
Yeah.
out, they look like deers in
Brother
the
Cobbs, let me ask you.
Deers in the headlight.
Brother Cobbs, let me ask you. When something goes wrong, when something goes on, when there's an issue comes up, your first go-to is what? To find someone to blame it on? Like to say, what did you do? You know, to your wife, like, what did you do? Or is it to, okay, this is a situation that we're dealing with and, you know, help me out, or this is what's going on?
Well, I think.
Hey, there's me.
I think it's every action causes a reaction. My spouse might not be around me when I need to react, but I had to react on that situation. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's promotion, sometimes it's walking letter. So, you know, it is. You saying finances? Y'all saying finances, right?
Yeah.
I could be getting a promotion, or you got to go. We don't need you anymore. Then that hurts. That plays on a man's heart real bad. And most females, like you said, we need our attention and how to groom a person. You don't understand.
Okay.
Because I'm the man, I'm supposed to take care of the family. Now, I'm not working. I feel less of a man, 90% of us, because I'm not working. I can't provide for my family. Now, a female should come in and say, baby, going to be all right. This and that. I got this
All
here.
good job until
I
you
get this here
find
until you.
I swear this makes me want to go back and watch the season of Love Is all over again. Because, you know, I used to be that one. It's like, you know, oh, he has to be the provider. You know, how do they feel about the woman making more money? And Love Is like it touched all of them.
Well, if he's not a provider, what is he doing?
He's a provider. He's a provider.
I'm saying, but what is he doing? Does he know how to take care of things around the house? Can he, what is he doing?
We can
How is
take
he
care-
providing if
I'm
not
gonna lie.
financially?
I'm not going to lie.
I'm just
we can take
making
care of
my-
our own house.
Yeah.
But the only problem is, by taking care of my own house, why should I? I got you.
Right.
To do what?
Take care of his house. If
I mean,
you
yeah,
were sitting
yeah.
At home, if you were sitting at home and he's making the income,
Then you should definitely
you
be taking
should.
care of the home.
Now, there is times when you have children and things get built up around the
Yes.
house, but that man is working 24/7 for
You definitely need
You
to make sure
care
the
of
home
him.
is taken care of.
But
Yeah.
see, because
Because
most
he's taking care of
men
you.
don't get married out of their mom's house. They go somewhere and live.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to take care of their
Yeah.
bills. They know how to take care of their house. Some of them might move around a lot, but they know how to take care of their house. So just because you got to work more, the house work still going to be done.
And-
He's going to take care of the house.
And also, it's a bonus to both of you if you both know how to do that.
It definitely is. Or,
And
you know,
cook,
you pay
and
people to
cook.
do it if you can't do it
Yeah, if you're
because
financially able to do that.
Men, you all need to learn how to cook.
and then the rearing of the
Hey.
children.
That's another blessing I got from my husband. He cooks every once in a while.
But you know, when something goes wrong,
when they
when
cook.
something goes wrong in these qualities between man and woman, it's like, who does that fall back on? Because we all look for somewhere to place that blame. And what can we do as corrective actions? Like, because then it starts going into like mental in our day-to-day life to change somebody's day-to-day sometimes.
Oh, I didn't answer your question, but go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, that topic can go on forever and ever and ever.
Yes.
All right, in these last 5 minutes of this segment, I do want to touch on, switch gears just a little bit. Because Shay brought up something on Facebook, and even though it's kind of not exactly in line, but it's still relationship related. When it comes to buying gifts, like you're in a relationship and someone wants to, when I say gifts, I'm not talking about just a little necklace. I'm talking about
A house.
a gift, car, big, something that's over several $100,000,
Legit.
should you, okay, I don't know how, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. Should you accept is it okay to buy your spouse, big elaborate gifts, or should the money be invested somewhere else? Like,
That
I'm gonna
is an
Shay, since
investment.
Shay brought it up, I'm gonna let her. Oh, first we have a Facebook comment from Mr. Buddy Red, Terrence. He says, I feel when you come in the relationship, if you focus on the other person's needs and put your selfishness aside, you will receive what you want and if they're the right person for you.
Yeah.
So put yourself and your selfishness and try to focus on what they need and work with them, I guess.
It's
Yeah,
50-50.
Then what I'm doing mine. Who gonna help me with mine?
But again, this is where communication. It doesn't matter your education. It's just communication. Period. Point blank.
Yeah.
Okay, Shay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I thought that we were talking about today. I must have got it mixed up. Pastor John Gray and his lavish gift that he bought for his wife, the $200,000 Lamborghini. How do people feel about that? I was just kind of.
I'll take one.
But do
I
you
second
deserve
that.
one?
I want mine black.
Oh,
But
black,
do you
everything.
actually deserve one? I mean, why would you pay that much money and you don't have love?
If you got it and that's what you want because I'm such a wonderful person, then I'm going to take that gift.
Shay, what were your thoughts on when you saw it?
I'm going to take that gift. I mean, it's done. It's whatever it is that you are okay with in your life. People do it all the time. And I'm going to say not being able to accept a blessing in life when it's done correctly, that might leave you sitting up looking crazy somewhere because you could have had that and no strings attached except for someone said, I'm able to afford this and this is what I want to do for this wonderful person in my life. We do it around the holidays all the time. Why can't I have mine?
See, my question is, as long as they're financially stable, they've got money in the savings account, their bills are paid, and he's able to do that,
What we checking them folks for?
I guess.
I've had vehicles bought. Well, I paid half anyways. But
Shay, what were your thoughts on it when you
I'm
read this?
done. I'm good. Y'all go ahead.
Okay.
But that $200,000 on the other hand could have went somewhere else. And I see what you're saying. Instead of getting a car that you could drive, this could have went to somebody's education. $200,000, to a local charity or an education for, like here at A-State. I'm sure there's students there that would love $200,000 donated just to the school for tuition. I'm sure somebody would love that.
They pay several tuitions.
Yeah, exactly.
And after we do that, I can still get my car, right? Possibly. That's one. It's like, if you
give, it would be given back to you.
Yes, it will.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
At the end of the day, even though he's a pastor, he's still a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. People need to be reminded of that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But,
Was there a lot of trash hating on Facebook for that?
Every day.
That's sad.
But it was more positive than the negative.
Okay.
That's good. That's always good to hear.
Okay, but if I give you a gift, should I have to pay for it?
What you talking about?
Well, you give it
Oh,
as a
you
gift,
gave
right?
me something. What you?
If I give you a car and I'm then some
How's
kind
it-
of way
it's
it
already
turned
paid
around. No, it's all something got turned around. I can't pay for it. Should you pay for it or let it go back? It's
Okay,
your
is
gift.
this bought on payments? Because a lot of stuff can happen. I learned this the hard way over my Durango. A lot of stuff can happen in 6 years.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's what it goes back to the financial stuff. You need to sit down as if he bought it as a surprise and they bought it outright and stuff like that as a surprise, that's one thing. But if you're having to make payments, you need to talk to your wife about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of stuff
Don't
can
say
happen
your
in
wife.
6 years.
You need to talk to your spouse. I'm not.
Or whoever you got,
don't-
whoever
Well,
you're
you're
giving
the
it
one.
to.
That was
That
your
was just a
question.
The
That was the
recipient.
question.
The recipient. The recipient.
Sorry,
is who
bad
you need to
choice
talk
of
to.
words.
All right. We have another comment before we go to break. Mr. Buddy says if your priorities are met, yes, you should spoil your spouse.
Yes.
I do believe in that. Don't do it just on special holidays or just because. Just do it
Just because. Because I love you just because.
And
So
it
love me
don't
back.
have to be an expensive gift.
Thank you, buddy.
just
All right. With that, we're gonna take a break. and
Wash the
wrap up.
clothes.
When
Wash
we
the
come back,
dishes.
stay tuned. We'll be
Close
right
up.
back
Take
after
the
these
trash out.
announcements.
You're listening to our thoughts on the matter on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Although 60% of all poisonings in the U.S. are among children under the age of 6, adults, especially elders, are also at high risk. Mature adults who can't read medicine bottles or who fail to follow instructions are at highest risk. All adults should take precautions to avoid poisonings. Turn on the light and wear reading glasses to view the label when taking medicine at night. Always read the medicine bottle and follow instructions. If questions arise, call your pharmacist or doctor. Never mix medicines and alcohol, and never take more than the prescribed amount. Never borrow a friend's medicine or take old medicines. Tell your doctor and pharmacist what other medicines you're taking to avoid adverse drug interactions. If multiple medications are prescribed, use a pill organizer. I'm Alexis Comer for Black Health Now.
Black Health Now.
Black Health Now is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization focused on joy in our sisterhood, power in our voice, and service in our hearts. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Black Health Now is brought to you by the Guide Right Jonesboro Kappa League, a nonprofit organization that guides young men to a life of achievement. Kappa League Jonesboro on Facebook, Jonesboro_Kappa League on Instagram, and JonesboroKappa League@gmail.com.
Black Health Now is made possible by CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated, counseling individuals and groups of all ages. 1-866-972-1268. LSCIHelp.com.
There's so much to be thankful for during the holiday season and so many magical moments to cherish. I am Dr. Tamara Glover, Mrs. Arkansas, United States, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank my wonderful husband, Leonardo Glover, family and friends, my sponsors, and the Jonesboro community for your continuous support throughout my reign, and extend my warmest wishes for a Merry Christmas and a Happy, Happy New Year.
And now back to our thoughts on the matter on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Oh, okay. Welcome back to our thoughts on the matter. We have Brother Cobbs. I didn't even have my own mic turned on. All right, Brother Cobbs, Miss Helen, Amanda, and Lachey. All right, we've been talking all things relationships and finances and what do you want, what do you need, communication, and everything in between. This conversation can literally go on for days and hours and months and years, but we don't have that kind of time. So we're going to try to wrap it up. And everyone has their own opinion. And I respect everybody's opinion. I have mine. I was raised in a different era. I was raised with older people, and I saw different things. And I made a decision early on what I want and did not want, what I would tolerate. Yes, unfortunately, when I got married, I tolerated a lot of things in my marriage because I wanted it to work and I wanted to stick it out. Unfortunately, my ex-husband was not willing to grow up and be the man that I needed. And we've had this conversation after we got divorced, that he realized his own flaws and he has apologized extensively for the role he played in the relationship. All I'm saying, when you're dating, you need to talk. It's not I feel, and I'm not trying to govern anybody's life, but all the physicalness of the relationship, and I'm gonna try to keep it I'm gonna try to keep it censored. If you can eliminate some of the physicalness in a relationship early on and really get to know that person, I think you can eliminate a lot of these problems you have later on. That's my personal opinion. Please, nobody come for me. Now, we're going to go around the table and give everybody a chance to speak. We're going to start with my left, Ms. Lachey, and go around. Now, this segment is fairly short, so 2-3 minutes or so.
Again, like I said, I don't think that one should take more responsibility on the other. It's a balance. You gotta balance each other out, and you gotta communicate it. That's just it, or it's not gonna work.
Right, Amanda?
Well, there's a lot of specific details you can get into, but first and foremost, you have got to trust one another. You have got to talk to one another. You have got to be able to respect one another. You must not be lying. You know, some things you need to talk about it. And also dating and stuff like that, I was more my husband was, I don't want to talk about this. But I'm the one, I want a 1-year goal. 5-year goals, 10-year goals. I'm very detail oriented like that, and with my business background, that I'm just OCD like that. But with my husband, he kind of balances me out because I can kind of get high strung on some things like that. But we actually sit down and we talked about it, and every time, every crossroads, every major decisions on my side or his side, you know, we sit down and we talk about it as a family. You know, we talked about it as we were dating, things that came up. You know, we can spend all day about me and Hunter in our first year that we were together, because I was going through a horrible divorce. You know, every time we talked about this, everything that came up, everything that he wanted to do. And things have changed within the last 7 years. Things have changed. And we just go back to where we was at the beginning, and we readjust and go somewhere else with this decision, you know. So, communication and respect.
All right, Miss Helen.
I met Hunter. He's a wonderful guy. He's quite a character.
He's my baby.
He's quite a character.
He is a godsend, and I thank him every day. I haven't truly, and I don't tell him very much because me and him both ain't really an emotional kind of person. I mean, I can get there, but most of the time we don't really. Well, like my grandma, she's all tell you to your face I love you and this is what's good for you, and I'm not so much for that.
Well, I did tell him. I said every time Amanda talks about you, she does it with a smile. Yeah. So he sees it. You know, you guys show it whether or not you say it. Yes. But let me say this. I have a great classmate who's a life coach, and this is the most wonderful advice I've heard her say of anybody. Sometimes we just need to grow up.
Sometimes, yes.
You know, we get to the point where we just need to grow up, and I have witnessed some grown people behave so childish. It gets physical. You know, it gets to be a bunch of nitpicking back and forth, and I don't care for it. I'm more of a what can we do and then go from this, but address the issues, and that's in relationships, especially between a man and a woman. That communication is so important because it's a man and then it's a woman. We're different, but we're similar because we're walking through life.
And there's sometimes you just have to agree to disagree on some things too, because we don't all the time get
We
along.
do need to grow up sooner or later in our lives. We have to do that.
Yeah, because if you don't, life gonna make you grow. We got one comment before we bring in Brother Cos, and this is from another man.
I'm gonna drop the mic, but I'm gonna put it back.
Okay. Mr. Buddy says, my grandfather taught me, if you can't provide for a woman and stand up and be a man, don't waste her time, period.
Amen. Thank you.
All right, Brother Cobbs, thank you for being our lone man on the panel today.
Okay, everybody was raised differently and all that, whatever you bring into a relationship. But I'm just saying, the main thing is respect. You need to respect each other, each other's decision. If you can't respect, you get upset, walk away. Don't leave the house. Don't go somewhere else. Walk away, go to another room, and come back again. See, can you come back again and do it? Because you don't need to go to sleep mad at each other.
Because you never know if you're not going to wake up.
Right.
And that's the last conversation that you had with that person.
I'll wake you up.
They ain't gonna remember it. They'll be dead.
I know, but you would have the guilt of your conscience, and that's a topic for another show. But anyways,
think about it and get woke up like, wake up, I want to talk about it.
And then like it's a 50-50. It's not a 75-25 anymore. It's 50.
It's 50-50.
50-50.
If your spouse don't work, male or female, talk to them. Tell them we need you to do this. I mean, why did you lose your job? Oh, why were you in this rut? Communication. But see, like you were saying, I was not going to cut hair. I was not. I was going to school to be a doctor.
But so did you discuss it? Did you?
Were you already in school to be a doctor at the time you met your wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she didn't convince me. My mother convinced me. My mother, she was a hairdresser. She put 3 of my other brothers in school to be a barbers and hairdresser. But she showed them how much money she was making. I said,
Okay.
And one day she was making $300 to $400 35 years ago.
Wow.
And so, what would you do?
One minute.
That sound like another trade I get told about. That's what they do, show them the money.
Years ago. So, you know, hair business is way more than what it used to be.
Yes, it is.
Way
Yes.
more.
And that's why I wear my natural, because I can't afford. But anyway, that's another story.
I know all that. I know that part too.
I just think we all have learned something. I hope you all have learned something. We're not browbeating no one person.
Communication, respect, and honor one another. Because you never know next time you be able to talk to them.
I mean, we've seen that happen, and just a lot of people passing away left and right. So
And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. You abusing, the abuser, say bye-bye, because they ain't going to change. It just gets worse.
And that's a whole nother domestic.
That's a whole nother show. We came up with 3 topics.
You ain't lying. All over the place.
And I want to put this out there.
Wait a minute, you said they can't get better. They can get better in time.
This is for another conversation.
They can get better in time.
Well,
his time, their time might not be your time.
My ex-husband, I give him 5 years of my life I wish I wouldn't have because I was hoping he'd get better.
But you learned something.
Yeah,
yes,
I learned.
you did.
Okay,
Real hard.
it's a process.
Broken bones don't feel good, and a gun in your face don't either.
And you don't have to stop. You don't have to stop. I don't think you have to stop being a good man or a good woman just because of bad experience.
If anybody wants to go look at it at the courthouse.
All right. I want to thank everybody for being on the panel today. I know we have a lot of different views because we're all from different not all from different generations, but from different eras in our life. We were raised differently, so everyone has a different opinion. And to those of our listeners and viewers, I want to thank you for tuning in, jumping in. Please share this video. Start your own discussion. And I just want to throw this out there. We see a lot of seminars and whatever geared towards women. It's time for men to start. I mean, a woman can't tell a man how to be a man, of course not.
So why they got men telling women how to be?
Stop!
That get on my nerves.
Oh, Lord.
How are you going to tell a woman how to be a good man?
You don't tell her, you ask her.
Oh!
Okay, wait away.
They tell me. I said, you can tell no woman
I don't
that.
tell my husband stuff, I ask him.
If there are any topics that you all would like to hear discussed or you would like to be a part of our panel, please give us a call or shout out at KLEK 102.5 FM. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we'll be happy to reply and fit your topic into the lineup. So next week, our own Legenzi Kell will be hosting the show, and he'll be talking about things that people deal with around the holidays: depression and sadness, loneliness, things of that
Anxiety.
nature. So everyone, please mark your calendars and get ready to tune in next Saturday at 12 p.m.
Do your homework and just let us know what you feel, how you think about it.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Thank you, everybody.